welcome back to the channel. If you're a beginner, you need to start doing this now. And if you're an intermediate player, you need to get better at this. Early on, no one said anything about following chords. And what does that mean? The best way to follow chords is to play the notes in the chords. You can start using these ideas today. They can just be added to the pentatonic scale that you already know. So grab your guitar and let's get into it. Today we're looking at a G7, C7, and D7. And the G blues scale works perfectly over these chords. So now we're going to add the dominant 7th arpeggio to all three chords. Let me show you the notes in each position. That's the basic structure of what I want to show you today for each chord. So we have the root note, and it will be the same shape for each chord. So once we have this down on the G shape here, we're going to be good to go on these other areas of the neck here. So the G, B, D, F. And basically we repeat those notes again. G, B, D, F. So it's the same for each chord. Just once you find the root note, C note in this case, and then the D, 10th fret of the E string. When you play that, you actually hear that chord in there. And if we add this little chromatic slide, and it's a great way to practice. You can hear that chord go by when you play those notes. So if we add these notes to the minor pentatonic, it really sounds great. So if you're already getting lost, you really need to focus on the root note of each shape. So in the 3rd fret, everything is here. The chord, the minor pentatonic or the blues scale. And the arpeggio is right at your fingertips. It's all right there, and then it's all movable. Now that little move there, as I walk up to the B flat note here, I'm bending it up to a C note. It'd be the 11th fret of the B string, bending a whole tone up to the C note here, and then a little major move here. A half step down here on the A note and a half bend. And then this is the anchor point again, the G note here. Still, no matter where you're at in your arpeggios, you really need to know where home base is. And this is where memorizing comes. It's so important to memorize at least a set of notes, and then you just expand from there. If you just can memorize the notes in a couple fret area, and then expand on that. And first off is memorizing that root note. Because just knowing that, you're going to have a lot of freedom and confidence to play up and down the fretboard. This is creeping toward getting advanced, so I might have lost some of you beginners, but stay with me. There's great ways to practice these concepts to get a lot better at it. So you're actually mixing the major and minor together, whether you know it or not, if you're using this concept, because you have the minor pentatonic, but if you add that major third in there, which is the B note, which is the only note that's not in the minor pentatonic, it really sounds bluesy, and you are mixing those scales together. So you can walk to these notes too. I was just trying to keep it simple for you. You can start adding those notes with some movement. So using a metronome is the best way to practice it if you're just learning this. You can throw the blues licks that you know and love in between these arpeggios. And if you do it at a slow pace with a metronome, you're going to be able to do it in time and then have confidence to play over backing tracks or jam with some guys. Another great way is just to have a looper pedal and have that little groove. So some of those little moves I was doing, I'm still looking at the structure of this D7 chord. You know, the root notes are in the 10th fret here. Sliding back to the C. So we're bending here. So you're hammering and pulling off of this little chromatic note. Full bend, 11th fret of the B string to the C note, hitting the C note here, hitting the 10th fret of the E string, that's the D note. And then hammering on, pulling off. And then hammering, or just slamming down on that 11th fret of the B string. Really looking at this G note here. Because basically you are using the G minor pentatonic and the minor pentatonic is obviously all over the neck. These arpeggios are all over the neck. But if you're just learning this stuff, keep it in a position where you have the arpeggio shape, you have the scale shape at your fingers right here in a certain area. When you throw that little major note in there, when you're playing the blues rock progression, it just really sticks out and sounds bluesy. I'm going to leave a link in the description for this backing track that I used in the intro jam. Let me know if you got something from the lesson. I really appreciate it. Talk to you soon.